try to reduce 50 years of work into 8 minutes. It's going to be good. I would like to share with you a short section of a lecture so that you get an idea of what my work is about. Let me get started with this thing here. Art for the third millennium, creating a new worldview. Art had to change in a world drastically changing when humanity was facing major decisions in order to survive on the planet while striving to maintain moral values and quality of life. A new art form needed to be created, and art cleansed from its elitist self-involvement to achieve greater universal validity. I left the ivory tower of my studio and entered the world of concerns. I wrote books, spoke at global conferences, and began to create large-scale environmental projects called Philosophy in the Land. Rice Tree Burial was the first large-scale ecological site work in 1968. It was philosophical in orientation and dealt with our relationship to the earth. I planted a rice field above the Niagara Gorge. It's not in there. Okay. I planted a rice field above the Niagara Gorge at the border of the US and Canada, chained a sacred Indian forest. Let's go back to this thing here. Can we go back on this? How do you go back? Yeah, there we go. Chained a sacred Indian forest and buried the time capsule to be opened in 1,000 years. It included my haiku poetry. I kept no copies. Then I went out to the edge of Niagara Falls. Now we can go to that. And lived there for 8 days and nights, a foot away from the torrent, a symbolic event that announced my commitment to environmental issues and human concerns. They had no railings in those days around Niagara Falls. And the little area where I stood had been dynamited in order to control the retreat of the falls. And I had to sign a document to both the United States and Canadian government that if I died, I would not sue them. Today, that was the end there. That's the time capsule. You're all invited to the opening. Today, I plant forests on abused land to be kept alive for centuries, and fields of grain in the heart of megacities. This work goes beyond just planting a field or a forest, or creating master plans for large territories in need of rebuilding. It is benign problem solving and shaping, structuring the future, an egoless art form that calls attention to social concerns and involves people from all walks of life. It addresses the first species that can consciously control its own evolution and has also begun controlling nature. This new art form goes beyond the self and the ego without being selfless. It assumes the difficult task of maintaining a delicate balance between thinking globally and acting independently. For the ego must remain intact to allow the self to act fearlessly with the certainty and confidence necessary for true creation, while the ego must be relinquished in order to think universally and for the good of others. In 1982, I created Wheatfield, a confrontation, planting and harvesting 2 acres of wheat in Manhattan's financial district and on land worth $4.5 billion at that time. It's worth probably 20 times more today. It is Battery Park City of offices and condominiums. The work addressed greed and misplaced priorities. Wheatfield was a calling to account. It represented food, energy, commerce, world trade, economics. It referred to mismanagement, waste, world hunger, and ecological concerns. That's me without a haircut for a year. We could talk about this project for an hour. Okay, this is Tree Mountain. I don't need it. Tree Mountain, a living time capsule. It's considered the largest reclamation site in the world right now. The trees are planted in a complex mathematical formation. And the reason that my forests have the trees planted in this mathematical formation is to combine nature and the human intellect. The tree is created by nature. The positioning is by humans. And all the forests are in different forms of mathematical formation. And this is my forest in Australia, where the trees are planted so that the largest tree create a pyramid of each mountain. I planted 6,000 trees, and this work addresses endangered species and land erosion that Australia is facing. Although I'm foremost an artist, my large-scale environmental work requires knowledge beyond the techniques of art and becomes a blend of architecture, landscaping, design, urban planning, soil science, mathematics, forestry, the social sciences, and philosophy. These projects are difficult because there is no precedence for them. But as difficult as it is to realize these works, it is absolutely necessary to make them happen all over the world as examples of what needs to be done to restore landfills or destroyed barren land where resource extraction has taken its toll, and on deforested soil to stop erosion, purify the air, protect fresh groundwater, and provide home for wildlife. And to create them in the nervous tension of cities, to give people a chance to stay in touch with nature, allowing it to speak its own special language, articulated through human intelligence. This is not just the artist being a modern-day shaman, but a new breed of scientific and technological seer. I look at art as the integrator of disciplines and see the role of the artist to develop a new vision for humanity. The powerful tools of artistic vision, image, and metaphor become expressions of human values with profound impact on consciousness and collective destiny. Thank you.